Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Let's discuss. So guys, this is the era of the declarative model and desire state. So nowadays when you want something, whatever you want, something, some software, something, then nowadays we don't write a program, we just say, okay, I want this, I want that, and you declare it. First you desire, that's the thing, what you want, and express it. So now I want 5 containers, 6 containers, 6,000 containers of what image, you know that. So here in Kubernetes, when you see desire means you want something, right? You want pod, 5 pod, 5,000 pod of this image. See, that's a desire. So actually the desire which I'm going to teach you next 2 days. Yes, that's all, nothing else. What to express, because you know one thing, once you know that what you want, after you declare in a declarative language like a YAML or JSON, send this JSON file to the API server, and go back to the home and sleep well. Simple. So you have come to this session just to learn what to desire. That's all, and how to declare. So you have desire and declare. So now what you want? I have to declare in where? YAML and JSON. You know that declarative language, right? So what do you want? I want 3 pod of what? Nginx. Sent to API server. Stored in KB store. Controller check how many Nginx pod you have? 0. Scheduler did what? Assign 3 pods. Affinity, anti-affinity, you know that, and you got a 3 pod in 3 node. If you have a 3 node, if you have a 1 node, you get all 3 in 1 node only. Done. So who did work? You did not do anything. You just desire and declare and send it to the API server. Rest of the work is done by Kubernetes. Did you understand this flow, guys? Did you understand that?
Yes.
What about one is missing now? One node got disappear, one pod got disappeared. Reason can be anything. So desire was 3, actual is 2, reported by controller manager. Controller, you know that, which runs in the loop, always, never down. So controller reported back to API server, boss, I am finding 2. API server asked etcd, how much you had a desire? 3. Mismatch, 1 of. Which one? Nginx. Mismatch happen. API server asks scheduler, boss, create one pod assigned to some node, available node. You got the next pod. Desire and actual is in match. You don't do anything. You don't get up. No production is down. And this all happen with the blink of eyes, a blink of your, millisecond. I mean seconds. So this is the power of Kubernetes. How it works, you know that. How it works overall, core component of the cluster, master and node, all this thing, you know that how it works. But this is the way it works. So ultimately, what you should learn. So remaining time, we're going to spend time for setting up, learning the desire, how to desire, how to declare. That's all. So guys, what to desire? What do you want to desire? What do you want actually? What do you want? You want pod? Then you should know what is a pod. You want controller? then you should know what is a controller. If you want services, then you should know what is a services. You want storage, then you should know what is storage. By the way, this is not adjustive list. Hundreds of these desires are available. We call it Kubernetes API objects. And once you learn that what are these, why do you want it, declare in YAML file, send it to the through the kubectl to API server, and forget about rest of the things. So we will spend time now from now onwards only on this.
Rajesh, what would be some examples of controllers over here?
I'll talk about it one by one
Okay. Okay.
because we are going to spend same time. Next 2 days we'll only spend only pod, controller, services, and storage. Nothing else.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
So guys, let's get started with one at least. Pod. What is pod? Now we will understand what is a pod. But one thing I know, I learned something. I learned few things. Let me repeat that. I learned that pod is there inside a worker, the school. Pod is created by kubelet.
Scheduler.
That's cool. No. Created by kubelet. Scheduled by scheduler. Understand? There is a difference. Creation and scheduler. Understand that? Pods get IP address from the kubeproxy. Pod has the container with the help of Docker. Pods may have a multiple containers also, but all containers share the same IP address. In the node, you can have a multiple pods also. Depends on the scheduler. He can assign whatever the pod minions means kubelet. We have to create it, no problem, because scheduler knows everything about the node. So these are the things I know that, but some of the things still I need to know. So let's learn. So guys, look at this image. Very important one. So guys, hypervisor can create what, you know? Hypervisor, you have used hypervisor from last 15 years. So hypervisor can create what?
VMs.
VMs. Docker can create what?
Containers.
Containers.
So guys, Kubernetes cannot create containers. Kubernetes do not understand containers. Yes, I repeat, Kubernetes is not a way to create a container. Kubernetes do not understand container. So guys, Kubernetes understand pod. So what is a pod? So same way you create a VM. VM is atomic unit of hypervisor. Container is atomic unit of Docker. Pod is atomic unit of Kubernetes. So when I say Kubernetes, then you will always ask pod, create pod. Do not talk about containers. Now guys, so pod is an atomic unit of scheduling in Kubernetes, similar to that VM for hypervisor, container for Docker. Now guys, VMs has the images. Think about it. VMs has the images, that OS images. Container also has the OS images. Is that right?
Yes.
Think. I
No.
said VM has the images, OS images. Container has which image?
Docker.
Root file
Root
system.
file system.
File systems.
Docker image. That's correct. But what is a Docker image? I taught you this one. We spent good amount of time. What is a Docker image? Root file system plus application.
Layers of
Yeah,
file
yeah.
system.
Yeah. So root file system plus XYZ applications, not a root file system. So yes. So guys, similar way, think about it. Very simple. VM has OS image. Container has root file system image. Pod has no image. Pod has no image. Pod has containers. Pod contains containers. Now back to the VM. Guys, VM is running. Your virtual machine is running as long as your
PID
virtual
one
machine
is
is running.
running. PID one is
Yes, got
running.
it. Yeah. Virtual machine is running as long as the PID one is running. Container is running as long as
PID one is running.
PID one is
PID one is running. So the same line, understand guys, pod is running as long as containers is running. Simple equation. Pod is running as long as containers are running. Pod is running as long as all containers of the pod is running. Simple. So what is a pod now? So guys, when you talk about the Kubernetes, when you want to run applications, when you want to deploy applications, always think of pod. Pod is an atomic unit of scheduling. Pod contains containers. Containers is running. The pod is running. All containers are running. Pod is running. So guys, did you get a little bit idea about this
Rajesh,
pod? Yeah, tell me.
Rajesh. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you said pod is running when all the containers inside it running. I'm thinking pod is running when at least one of the containers is running inside the pod,
No, no, no. I'll
or
tell you
all
what.
should run.
All should running. I'll tell you what is the reason for this. See, here what is happening, conceptually think about it. See, load balancer, think about it. You have a pod, okay, and you have a two containers. That means that two containers together, they are serving the requirement of that pod, which is done by the load balancer right now,
Okay.
right? So let's say
Yeah.
if this one cross container is not running, then how come the pod is healthy? And if the pod is not healthy, if that load balances happen, then you hit the load balancer, you get a bad request, you get a page not found or something like that, some stupid error. That means pod is not healthy. This is not good, no? So that means if all the containers should be running, then the pod is healthy, and pod is healthy, the pod is running. Because of that, running pod only would be load balanced by the load balancer. Are you getting this equation?
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, but
Yeah.
one more question. So who manages the containers inside a pod? Pod is self-managing itself.
No. So for that we have no Docker. Every nodes, you know that we spend a good amount of
Oh
time,
yeah.
right?
So in the Docker manages
Yeah.
containers
Ha.
inside the pod across. Okay.
Yes. Docker,
But,
because
but
Kubernetes has Docker.
Rajesh, who starts the containers, multiple containers inside a pod? Is it a kubelet?
No.
Who started?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. You have to answer this to me.
Okay.
Who runs the container, guys?
Scheduler.
No.
No. I'm saying he's asking
Docker.
container.
Docker.
Docker.
No. Something else. Please tell me.
What will
Just
container, right?
What is
the
the
question is very
question?
simple.
Can you?
How the container is running state, container is running how?
Kubelet
Last
will
time also.
start pod will, right? Kubelet will start pod and pod will start container, right?
No, sir. He's asking how this is container is in a running state. That's the question. Discussed today also, last session. Entry. Yeah. See the concept I told you, right? That's the reason. Please do not forget. Conceptually, if you're strong, you can nail out down any technology. So here is simple thing. PID1 is running, so container is running. I told you, right? Now the question is PID1 of where you set? Through CMD and entry point. Where? In a Docker file. What it can be CMD and entry point? Anything. But if that is running, then the container is running. If the container is running, pod is running. Pod is running, it can be load balanced by the load balancer. See,
No,
so
Rajesh, my question was like, if the if in a pod there are two containers, right? Two Docker containers, right? So my question is where is this mapping done that a pod should have two containers or three containers or one container? So where is
so
that?
that's
Where is it defined?
that is you are defining, no? That's
Okay.
you.
Okay.
That's your desire, no? You wanted to pod, and you wanted a pod inside of 5 container or 10 containers or one container. You desire how in YAML file.
Yeah.
We send it
Okay.
to API server and they deliver to you, right now?
Sure. Yeah. Got it.
More questions, guys?
For between pods and containers, so is there a mapping for resources like networks, how it's managed? Because
So
the master talks to the pod and pod can talk to
master,
each other.
through network.
Then how then how, I mean, how the network flows from container to the pods and then to the destination pod and to the destination container.
Yeah. Proxy is there, no? I told you Q proxy is acting like a bridges, but the Q proxy scope is cluster wide, not a host. Remember, Q proxy assign the IP address. Okay, I'll simplify this one. Guys, are you comfortable with the VPC concept? VPC, AWS?
Oh, yes.
And
No?
not every.
No.
Okay, so no, then I'll skip this question. Yeah, this question probably will answer at the end of it. Okay, please remind me this question. Okay, because I need
Uh,
to explain you a little bit of concept of networking actually. Okay.
okay. I have another question. So
Yeah.
inside a pod, suppose there is a two containers are running. Okay. So
Mhm.
and one of the container health is gone. So the pod health itself is gone, right? So
Hmm.
the pod, the proxy will monitor that, and will it spawn another container, or it is whose responsibility to make it work? That one means the self healing is whose responsibility.
Here, concept, it states I will only run the pod and I fill the container. Whether container is running or not running, I don't care about this. Who should be taking care of this? This should be taking care of the image developer, which you did it. Image developer. So whether container is running or not, self running or not, that is a part of the developer. I don't care. Kubernetes don't care. Don't worry about it. They will try to run it. If it is running, cool. If it's not running, they will exit. Container exit, pod get exit. Pod get exit. Everything is
Okay.
like a wrong state.
Okay, so Kubernetes will try to create another pod instead of that. That's what it is.
It will keep creating. Understand that. In this way, I'll tell you. Kubernetes will keep trying to create that pod and keep. Let's say one pod got failed, it will try it second, third. It's failing, but it's failing for what reason? Not for the Kubernetes reason. Because Kubernetes is creating a pod, filling the container, but your container itself is not holding. So what to do? I'm
Okay.
not to blame, right?
Okay. Yeah. So only thing is that Kubernetes only say that decide whatever we decide. If that happened, then it is success. Otherwise, it will keep trying it.
Keep trying and keep filling till that images get fixed.
Okay.
So the health check is on the pod or the container?
Health check will be done at the both level actually. C advisor is there, both level, pod and container, because container define the health of pod and health of pod define the health of load balancer.
So when pod will manage container health, right?
Yeah, correct, sir. C advisor, there's one more component is there which keep monitoring the status of it. Okay, guys, let's move on. So, guys, you see here, you have a pod, multiple pod. Pod may have a containers. Pod may have a multiple containers. See here. Here what happens? I've been teaching you in the pod. I said, sorry, Docker. So I've been telling you Docker get all the network namespaces, mount network, this, that, and all. But here what happens? Pod get all these network namespaces. Okay, not container. Pod get network namespaces, mount IPC, all this stuff. Here, this is called tight coupling. When you have a pod, two containers.
So Rajesh, does it mean when we create container, then means when we creating the image, so we have to create network none, right? Does it mean this way?
Uh, not network none, but network shared with the with the container will share the network which is assigned to the pod. All containers which belong to that same pod will share that network. For example, I'll tell you a simple way. In the session, I created a container with a host network. Do you remember?
Right. Okay.
So I can attach the container with the another network also. Like I attached to the, see, I did, if I
Right.
remember, if I remember.
We did with two network we did, right?
Network also, right? So like that. So yes, host network also I attached it. So that way, the same similar concept, the container when you create, it get attached to the network, put assigned to the pod, and pod
Okay,
network
got it.
is shared by all
So,
the container of the pod.
so it's more like pod is we have to first start pod, and pod we have to assign that when we create a container, we say take the network from pod, right?
Yes, correct. Okay, so yeah, So guys, this is called tight coupling. Tight coupling means when you have a pod, two pod inside two containers in the same pod. This is called tight coupling. Sometimes you know what happens. Your developers will say, boss, listen, we are not in microservices right now. You have to run this application and that application in the same compute unit. Means same physical machine, same virtual machine, same container, or here in this case, same pod. So if they will tell you, then what you will do, you'll run in the this way, tight coupling. Okay.
One
This is full.
question, Rajesh. When it comes like say when I do a volume mount for the so volume mount will be for a pod, right? So when
Wonderful.
I
Yes.
take so
Everything at the pod level.
both the containers will see the volume mount in the pod.
Wonderful. Yes, you nailed it down. Everything will be mounted. Everything will be shared with the pod label. Anything is shared at the pod level. All the container can access it without any problem, including network, including mount, and stuff like that. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is called loose coupling, guys. One pod, one container. You tell me, suggest me why this is
So
wrong, why
I
this is
have a
right.
question. I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, because we say that volume mount is accessible from pod to across containers. So that means pod itself will have a root file system.
Pod itself will have nothing. Pod
Correct.
itself
So
would have nothing.
okay.
Pod is basically wrapper. What happens? I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll teach you in this way. Don't you think one volume can be attached to the two containers?
Yes, it can.
Yeah. So same thing is happening. Pod get assignment only, not it's a
Okay.
physical assignment. It's a logical assignment. Pod get a mount. That same mount it can be attached to both the containers. Simple. No other
Okay.
container can access the mount which is assigned to this pod. Same logic.
And each container in the pod can have different root file system.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Root file.
So that means
Because
there could be a Linux based one and the Windows based container in the same pod.
no. This will not be possible because for Linux container you need a Linux kernel, no, for the host machine. How can you run in the
Correct.
Windows container? Yeah, like that. No, you need a Windows host different for Windows container, right? Getting opens. Okay, guys, let's move on. Guys, you tell me, can you help me why this is wrong, why this is right?
Because the Nginx cannot have all the Nginx need a different network. What do you call this one? Network file
IP
system and
address.
the
Load balancing.
IP address.
Load balancing.
It's a different IP.
Why you are wasting resources? You are wasting resources. Core Nginx running. Guys, when you have two containers in the pod, first container we call it main car, second container we call it sidecar. Please remember, main car, sidecar, main car, sidecar. Yeah, pod has all the network namespaces which is shared by all the containers of the pod. Pods can scale. Yes, if you want one pod to multiple, then what happens? First, the pod is in ready state. Second pod, if you create something similar, then that will go into the pending stage, and then it will become a running or succeeded and failed state. Pending, running, succeeded, failed. So first, when you create a pod, so scheduler assign the pod. Before assignment, it's in pending state. The moment assignment happen and then start running, it's in running phase. Look at the containers picture also. Gray, blue, green,
So,
I mean red.
these pods are also services or daemons on the
No.
system?
Pods are nothing but a logical distribution of managing the containers to get the network mount requirement done, so that can be managed by Kubernetes. Kubernetes has no ability to manage containers directly, so they created a framework for that. That's called pod. It's a logical unit, so manage the containers and which is accessible over the network and also like that.
So if it's available over the network, then it must be listening, right? So how it, if it's not a service, then how it listens to the network packets?
Simple thing, understand that here. Everything, whether it's a pod or container, everything is just a process. And process for the host machine, but the different namespaces. Okay, namespaces. So in a Docker, if you remember Docker, we discussed about this, how this each process you can club it together and assign the different namespace, like a user namespace, a network namespace, process namespace, and all. So something similar, Kubernetes also has done it, and to manage those states. So isolation is there at the pod level here. In the Docker,
So
isolation is there at
you
that
said
container.
like pod is a process. So is it a process or it's just, I mean, a logical separation, like a namespace separation?
Namespace separation. Namespace separation.
Okay.
So pod is like equivalent to a container or something, like it has its own names, network namespace, own
No, no,
mount
no.
namespace.
Container is a physical entity. Containers, you can experience it. You can go inside of
Okay.
containers. You can see that files and all. Pod has no file system. Pod has, you cannot go inside a pod. You cannot
Okay.
experience the pod. It's a wrapper,
Okay.
a logical wrapper, which only controlled by Kubernetes. Basically, pod is nothing but to way to manage the container with the help of Kubernetes.
What is a placeholder for containers and a dereference?
Placeholder, yes, wrapper, placeholder for the container. That's all. Which is this place pod is understood by Kubernetes, kubelet, and kubelet managed by ASR for orchestration purpose. Okay, guys, move on. So now these are
Can
the
you
life
just
cycle.
one thing? What is sidecar and main car you talked about? Can you just reiterate once again?
Typically, when you have a two containers, first container we call it main container. Second container we call it sidecar. These are the typical terminologies which we use it.
Right, but
Hello, hello. Yeah, you were
hello.
asking something. Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it is left to the developer to say which container is main and which container is sidecar
No,
or something like
first container is always main. Second container onwards sidecar.
that. Okay.
First specification in YAML file is main container.
Yeah, but this is given both containers are going to do the same work, right? But what if these two
No different,
containers are two different things altogether?
not same work. Both the containers has to be. Why? Just now you answered no this question. This question you answered just now. What you will do with the two
Yeah.
containers of Nginx? Different work.
Okay, they're different. So any reason why second there are sidecars and stuff? One is why you have to even designate one as main. Why can't it be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Just what is the main specifically does more than a sidecar?
Nothing. In terms of command line, you cannot locate which is sidecar, which is main car. If you see that YAML file, then you can say, okay, this is my main. Mains means default one. First one is default. So let's say I'll put it in this way. When you want to go inside a container, one of the container, then you have to specify the pod name only. If you go inside the pod, you write the pod name, and then you'll go to the main. But if you want to go to sidecar, you have to specify the container name. So those are the specification is there. Main means default, something like that. First one, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
get it, get it. Yeah.
if main fails, the sidecar, it won't even check for the sidecar. The pod is down. Huh?
No, sir. Actually, I said very clearly, all containers, all
Okay.
containers has to be running. So pod is running. If any one of these is not running, pod is not running.
Okay.
Rajesh, one question that I mean, how do you decide on like I mean, how many containers you want to put in pods, or like each pod will be having one container only, or like we'll put 10
You decide.
10.
You decide, sir. When you write a YAML, you declare I want pod. What do you want? Pod. Okay. With what container? You decide. What port? You decide. With what volume? You decide. many things. How much CPU you want to give to the pod, you decide. How much RAM you want to give pod, you decide. So how much block read writable all this thing you want to give it, you decide. Everything you decide and send it to the Kubernetes. Rest of the things you just forget to do. So ultimately you decide everything.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.